What is up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into episode 5 of my CurlFriendTalk series. Episode 5 honestly is such a big accomplishment because that's 5 whole episodes outside of my comfort zone, just on camera talking to you guys, sharing myself, sharing my thoughts. And so yeah, here we are at episode 5. I'm keeping this series going, so if you have tuned into all 5 of my CurlFriendTalk episodes, I am so thankful and appreciative, and I'm just sending all that love and support right back to you, okay? So yeah, here we are for episode 5. So for this week's episode, it's the first week of March. I know Black History Month was last month, but I could not get to this video, so I'm just going to go ahead and just continue to do it. So this is going to be my first CurlFriendTalk episode of March, okay? And so today's topic is owning your blackness. And so this is something I really wanted to touch on because I think this definitely ties in with being confident and having self-love, especially as a Black person, as a Black woman. You have to own your blackness, okay? So I'm just going to touch on a few things that I wanted to discuss. I am going to be unraveling my twist and taking out my twist during this video. So this is kind of like a do my hair with me and we'll just chit chat, okay? So right now, these are some chunky twists. I do have some Uncle Funky's Curly Magic in here. So I am going to be unraveling these twists with this Shining Star Hair and Scalp Elixir by Uncle Funky's daughter. Okay. So when it comes to owning your blackness, there's literally so many parts of this that I could get into. Okay, and so breaking it down, for me personally, I think that I didn't even know that blackness was something that I could own until very recently. Okay, I think even in college, I didn't truly realize that, you know, being Black and being unapologetically Black and not changing or shying away from my blackness, my natural swagger, my natural coolness to make other people feel comfortable. Basically, you're dimming your light to make other races feel comfortable. And so what made me realize that owning my blackness was something that I could do and that I can be unapologetically Black in every room that I walk in was Twitter. Black Twitter, okay? Black Twitter really pushed a lot of the narratives and the beliefs that I have today and really opened my eyes because the content on Twitter is so open. You know what I'm saying? In school, they teach you from the white male perspective a lot of the times. A lot of the books you read, all the textbooks that are written from the white male perspective. Coming out of school and getting a chance to learn outside of a structured system really truly opened my eyes, and I think that I've learned more outside of college than I did in college, and I can genuinely, that's how I feel, genuinely. Like things that matter to me personally in my personal life, I learned a lot more outside of college. So yeah, there's that. So when it comes to owning your blackness, this means being unapologetically Black in every room that you enter. So that means not dimming your light for anyone, not dimming your light to make someone else feel comfortable, not changing your hair so that your coworkers won't ask you questions, or putting a white voice on the phone, you know, just to make the conversation go your way with whoever's on the phone. I think it's important that we make people comfortable with exactly who we are. We've gotten to a point where we no longer need to hide. We more so need to live out loud and express out loud so that people can become comfortable with our blackness and we don't feel like we have to hide and shy away from who we really are. So for me, I think being Black is one of the best things that could have possibly happened to me. I literally thank God every day that I'm Black because I think our culture is so rich and so many people, it's so easy for me to own my blackness because I know that there's so many people who want to look just like me. There's so many people of other races who want what I have, who want the features that I have. So why would I not own things that everybody wants? Why would I not own the things that are God-given to me that everybody else wants? You know what I'm saying? And for me, it doesn't matter who's around. I'm gonna be me. Whether it's a room full of white people, I promise you I'll be the blackest person in there and I will not change. I feel like for me, I'm really a petty person sometimes, and if I'm the only Black person in an area or in a room, I'm gonna be extra black, okay? And I just really just don't even care. I'm gonna put on the Atlanta accent. I'm gonna have a little bit of, I want to make y'all uncomfortable, because you shouldn't be uncomfortable. Whether I'm talking properly or I'm talking in ebonics, okay, it shouldn't matter. You should be comfortable. You shouldn't feel threatened. So any room I go in, I'm gonna wear my natural hair. I'm never going to, any interview I go to, it'll be my natural hair. I like to let people know up front, like, I'm not changing for anyone. So yeah, you're gonna get this natural hair in the interview, okay? So I feel like when you truly stand in your blackness, you have a lot of integrity. And that means that you're willing to lose opportunities. You're willing to miss out on jobs, or potentially getting a raise, or whatever it could be. You're willing to lose out on it if they do not accept you exactly as you are. So that means you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for a check. You're not willing to sacrifice yourself for clout. You're not willing to sacrifice yourself to fit in. You're going to be unapologetically black. And if they don't like it, then that opportunity is not for you. If you don't like my blackness, then I don't need to be here. This is not a safe space for me. And therefore, y'all got it. I will leave. Okay? And that's it. That's how I roll. Like, I'm not going to sacrifice any part of me or my blackness to make a company feel more comfortable or whoever else. And I think if you are a black person who wants to wear your natural hair to work, but you're afraid, what are you afraid of? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you? This is who you are. Literally who you are. You want to be somewhere or working for someone who doesn't accept you for exactly who you are. Why would you want to work there? That's just how I think. That's how I roll. You know what I'm saying? I know everyone's situation is different, but if I accept a job knowing this, I'm going to take the job, but I'm looking for the next job too that's going to accept my natural hair, okay? I think a lot of people are definitely willing to change themselves or dim down their blackness for a check. Like, a check is the number one thing that people are really willing to throw all their morals out of the windows for. Like, just an example that I personally saw was during this past election. A lot of people were saying that, a lot of black people were saying that if Trump gives them a stimulus check, then they'll vote for him. And I'm just like, black people have got to do better. Money cannot be the only reason that you just sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your morals, sacrifice your beliefs for a check, okay? I get it, like, we all need money, but you should move in integrity as well. I think a lot of times we curse ourselves trying to chase money, and we're not chasing what's right, okay? Or we're not chasing what we truly actually believe in. So a huge part of owning your blackness is also owning your black features. So that definitely ties back into changing your hair or straightening your hair for your workspace, or changing it to make other people feel comfortable. Some people get plastic surgery so that they have smaller lips, or plastic surgery so they have a smaller nose. And of course, like, if you want to change your body, like, you know, my body, my choice. And I think that's actually really important statement, not just outside of like women's productive rights, but also just when it comes to plastic surgery, you know, my body, my rights. When it comes to plastic surgery, I think a lot of people are feeding into those European beauty standards, and you're literally slicing off your black features. So how could you own your blackness if you're literally cutting it out of your face, cutting it off of your face? So for me, when it comes to owning my black features, I think it's really easy for me to do that, because I know that my features are so desired by so many other races. I do take pride in that. It's like, wow, I naturally have it and y'all don't. So why would I not own my blackness? Why would I not own my black features when people are literally paying thousands of dollars to look how I look? So when it comes to owning your black features, just know that you are the only one, okay? There is no replica of you, and your black features, and your black features comes from your lineage. So the face that you see, the face that you're looking at, is the face of your ancestors. You are the culmination of your people. So when you're looking at you, you're looking at your entire lineage of people. And for me, I feel like that's so powerful, that this specific face and this specific makeup of my entire body is here because of all of the ancestors who sacrificed to make it here so that I could be here today, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna own my blackness. I'm gonna be unapologetically black, Black people have had to hide their blackness, hide how loud they are, hide their features, straighten their hair. We've come to a point where we're just no longer doing it. So yeah, if we want to twerk at brunch when the song come on, we gonna twerk at brunch when the song come on. The world would be flavorless without us, okay? The world, twerking wouldn't even be a thing, okay? This is what I'm saying, you guys. We have to own our blackness because we are so amazing. People are really trying to steal our culture. Like, our culture literally runs everything. All of the slang, all of the popular music, the entire music industry, all of this entertainment that we have, the way people dress, long nails, colored wigs, two-piece outfits, fashion, everything comes from Black people. Like, we are the trendsetters. So yeah, I'm so happy to be Black. Look, let's just say this. Everybody want to be Black, but nobody want to be Black. Okay? And this is why it's important to own your blackness and to fully live in your blackness, because what you do in your blackness, you get judged for, while when other people do the same thing that you do, they will not get judged for it. So whether you're owning your blackness or trying to succumb to what society is telling you to be, either way you're going to be judged. Whether you're trying to fit in with the yites or hang with the blacks, you're going to be judged by other races anyways, so you might as well just do you, be you, and embrace everything that you are and everything that you will be. I think a lot of people have trouble owning their blackness because they haven't really done the research to know where they truly come from. They've only listened to their high school education or their college education, which is told not from the Black people perspective. So I've really done a lot of inner work to undo the brainwashing that a lot of the society has done to me, such as like just telling me that Black isn't beautiful and telling me that European is the beauty standard, when I'm looking at these beautiful chocolate women like, okay? So yeah, I've taken the time to undo a lot of the brainwashing. I've even gone as far as to changing my religion and getting back to an African traditional religion. And if that is not owning your blackness, then I don't know what is, okay? Also, a way that I own my blackness is putting myself in a position to be surrounded by my people. So for me, I never put myself in a situation to where I know I'm going to be uncomfortable. If I know I'm entering into a space that is predominantly white, I will actively try and seek out or find the nearest Black person. I will support Black businesses. I often listen to African Black music. I listen to various genres of Black music. That means really educating yourself and supporting your Black culture as well is owning your blackness. Going out of your way to buy from a Black-owned brand, that's owning your blackness. So just a little history about me. I did go to a predominantly white middle school, and for me during that experience, I definitely tried to stay as far away from my blackness as possible because that was the environment I was in. I was literally put in an environment with nothing but rich white children, and me coming from this middle class area of, we had all kind of different people in my area that I lived in, but the school I went to was predominantly white, so that was who I was around every day. And so I definitely was trying to stay as far away from my blackness as possible. I did not embrace my Black features. I straightened my hair every day. I started wearing makeup at a really young age because the white girls at my school were wearing makeup super young at like 6th grade, and of course I wanted to fit in, you know. How can you have any type of confidence, or at least for me, because you know some people can, but for me at that age, what, 13, 14, I had no type of confidence, and I didn't see anyone who looked like me ever. No teachers, no students. There was a few Black students, but we all were trying to fit in. So yeah, I was not caught up on Black culture at all. I was extremely into pop music, you know, super like Disney. So for me, once I started to grow and get back around Black people, that's when everything really started to change. I started wearing my natural hair. I started seeing just how beautiful I was, because of course in middle school, those little white boys, no, they don't, you know what I'm saying? No type of self-esteem. So actually getting to be back around Black people definitely boosted my confidence a lot. You know, just started to embrace my blackness more and my black features and my black hair. And honestly, that was the start of me just embracing my blackness and no longer wanting to cower or hide who I was, because my environment was a lot more open. And you know, I get what my parents were trying to do. Of course, you need a good education, especially if because the school in my area was really bad. Send your child to a school where they won't do as well, where the curriculum is not as good because it's in a, you know, a minor area full of minorities, or completely rip them from their black people and their culture and send them to a white school so they can have a better education. It's like, you know, it's hard to choose as a parent. So one thing that I think can really help with owning your blackness is, instead of saying like, oh, black people always X, Y, and Z, da, 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 it's, oh, black people are just the most amazing finessers. We can really, if we want something, we are really gonna go getters, and we're really gonna go get it. So it's changing that Western world demonization of what black people do, and switching the narrative into something that's positive. So you know that they say like black people are always so loud, da, da, da. No, for me it's, oh, black people are so loud, we're so expressive, and we're genuinely open and love to share and share love and give love. And I think one argument that really irks me is like when people say black people need to stop buying sneakers and black people need to stop buying XYZ. No, for me it's, black people deserve this luxury. Black people should be buying sneakers. Of course, you know, there's a whole debate on it, but black people deserve luxury, and they deserve to invest in things that make them happy, whether that's sneakers or a house. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Black people can never be on time. Or no, black people like to take their time and be presentable and come when they're ready. Okay? Or honestly, if I know something about black people to be true, then I'm just gonna embrace it. If I have an event at 5:30, I know black people aren't going to show up until 7. So why would I expect people at 5:30? So I think another important part of owning your blackness is defending blackness at all costs. That just means like when someone's so willing and ready to like throw black people under the bus, or something black people might have said, might have done, you genuinely find reasons as to why this happened. A lot of the things that black people go through or do often is a consequence of slavery. So it's just understanding that sometimes the things that really irk us about our blackness oftentimes comes from a place of trauma, which is like, you know, just from our past. Okay, so you just kind of have to be lenient and just know, like, if you know certain things to be true, like, just embrace it. Don't try to form a hatred towards it, or try to demonize it, or try to like carry on the stereotype. Use it to your advantage, twist it, and embrace it. Alright, so this Uncle Funky's got me looking like I got a wet look going on over here. I don't know what it is, but when I use Curly Magic, Uncle Funky's Curly Magic in my hair literally looks, it keeps the wet look. It literally looks like I just stepped out of the shower when my hair is completely dry. So that's one thing I like about that gel, is my hair really mixes well with it, and it's really hydrating. And I just love that their products are vegan products. I'm really hyping them up right now. And black owned. Okay, where are the flaws? Where are the flaws? Okay. So I remember I went to brunch the other weekend, and it was someone's birthday in the restaurant, right? And I live in Atlanta, so you know the black culture down here is just absolutely everything. And especially if you go into the city, into downtown, it's like we all just have a telepathic black connection, okay? But anyways, so yeah, we were at brunch. I was at brunch with a few friends, and it was someone's birthday, and they started singing happy birthday, just the regular version. And then all of a sudden after, they started singing the Stevie Wonder version. And when I tell you, all of the black people in the restaurant started rising up, getting up out their chair, singing and dancing, joining in the birthday celebration. I'm like, this is exactly why I love being black, because although we don't know each other, we know each other. We all share a common experience. We find joy in any and every situation. We are not afraid to be unapologetic. A lot of us are not afraid to be unapologetically black, and we will cut up in a restaurant. Just like I was saying how people was twerking in that restaurant. We will cut up and be unapologetically black at any moment. And I love that I live in such a black city because I get to see my people all the time. And I remember talking to, I've talked to a friend who went to UGA and a friend who's went to Spelman, which you guys know Spelman is a HBCU and UGA is a PWI. The difference in experiences to where they say that the friend who went to UGA saw no black people, whereas the friend who went to Spelman said that once they left campus, it was so strange to see a white face. I often wonder what that is like. You know, I really do often wonder what it's like for whiteness to not be predominant. I wonder what it's like to live in a black state or a black country. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they both experienced two extremely different experiences. And I think that the friend who knew, like, yo, I'm trying to be with the niggas for real, I'm trying to be with the black people, she knew that HBCU was going to do that for her and was going to fulfill that for her, and she would truly step into her blackness and become the young black woman that she's trying to be by going to this HBCU. Whereas my friend who went to UGA was literally looking and searching for black spaces to enter and be a part of. I think it's really good that once you are out of school fully, outside of high school, college, whatever level of education you want to go to, I think it's important that you do step away from education that is so systematic or so, you know, outlined, and really do research for yourself and do research on your own so that you can learn to form your own love for who you are. Not just what who schools have told you who you are, or who your family has even told you who you are, but actually go out and look for answers. So yeah, those are just some of my ideas associated around owning your blackness. I think it's important for us to own our blackness so that we can pass it on to the next generation, and we can teach our children how to own their blackness and for things to click a little bit quicker for them than they did for us. If you're constantly running away from who you are, constantly running away from your blackness, you'll never feel happy, you will never feel fulfilled. You'll always be trying to fit in, and you'll realize that the reason why you aren't fitting in and the reason why you always do feel uncomfortable is because you're putting yourself in spaces where you don't fit in. Okay? So I'm gonna always be me. I'm gonna always be black. I won't be anything other than black, right? So I might as well go ahead and embrace every black feature, every black bone, every piece of melanin. Alright, so I have taken down all my twists. I've separated, I've fluffed, I picked it out just a tad bit. And I'm so happy with the way that this twist out turned out. I did use all Uncle Funky's products, so I will link them in the description. Thank you just for tuning in and wanting to hear me speak and wanting to hear what I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed discussing the topic of owning your blackness. Of course, feel free to comment below any topics you want me to touch on or talk about. I'm so open to just sharing what I have to say. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.